If you have Zoom for meetings, if you're using Zoom for meetings or presentations of any kind, having professional quality video does a ton for you. It can really set you apart. It can give you instant credibility, we'll talk more about that, and it can create a more engaging Zoom experience. In fact, some of my students, some of you even in the chat room right now, have made a lot of money just by showing up in Zoom and looking spectacular. Does that sound like something you want? Give me a big yes in the comments, and I am coming to chat here shortly. But real quick, just so you know what we're doing here today, in this video, we are going to talk about the best gear for a pro but simple setup. We're also going to be talking about workflows to make it really easy for you, and exclusive goodies that I'll tell you about here in just a second. Now, this video is a part of a 3-video series. So we're live every day for 3 days, and we're looking at, as a whole, ways to get the most out of Zoom. And of course, how Ecamm can even make your experience and your viewers' experience even better. So those videos coming up, we're going to be talking about Zoom and Ecamm together so that you don't get fuzzy presentations inside of Zoom. That is a big complaint. The third video, Michael Hyatt is joining me to geek out over workflows. We're going to be talking about 3 hacks for getting more out of Zoom for that. And exclusive goodies. All you have to do is register. It is completely free. We're going to drop the link in the chat room. If you have not registered already, you're actually going to get stuff for free that I usually charge for. So if you have not registered, now is a good time, because we've also got some extra special stuff coming up in the future videos. So if you have questions, I want you to put a Q colon in front of that, and that will make its way into my queue. We are going to be doing Q&A at the end of the training. Hi, Eden. Hi, Tatiana. Paul Duncan. Man, the moderator man. Maggie, Sarah, Calvin, Learn Pro, Marcus, Lori. I see all of you saying, yes, I do want that. I do want to make more money. I do want to have better looking presentations inside of Zoom. And I am so thrilled that all of you are here together with me. We have a ton to get to cover, so let's dive right in. And just keep asking those questions throughout, and I will get to you shortly. All right, so let's dig in. Let's talk about the benefits of a pro video setup. Now, the benefits of this before we get to all of the gear, and I've got show and tell for you. We're gonna get to the gear, I promise you that. Really instant credibility. I said that at the beginning of this video, and it's truly like the moment people see you looking fantastic, having a professional video, and you have a great quality camera, you have great audio, all of the things, and even stuff like I'm doing right here, you create this credibility that happens by nature, and it's not something that you have to tell anybody you're an expert at whatever your subject is, right? What happens is our brains are wired to appreciate that, because we've spent how many years, watching, TV quality broadcasts, and that's what you can do inside of Zoom so that you also stand out, and you're standing out not only against everybody on Zoom, on the Zoom call, you're also standing out from your peers who are not looking quite as good as you, and then you rise to the top over time, because people are like, wow, she's got it going on, right? You are going to be able to hold attention longer. We talk about Zoom fatigue. Can you say me in the comments right now if you've heard that word, that Zoom fatigue? And I spend like an entire day on Zoom, and so I get that, but if you have 2 things going on for your Zoom presentations or your Zoom calls, one, high quality video, and it's not up the nose shot, bad lighting, that's putting a strain on your attendees' eyes, if you have that and you have engagement, those are the two things that will kill Zoom fatigue. Yes, lots of you saying me. I love it. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Paul. Hi, Jamie. The next thing is that you're going to have a smoother production. If you have a high quality setup, you actually can have a less stressful production, a less stressful presentation. By the way, I do want to hear from you what you're using Zoom for. Will you drop that in the comments? I just want to know, are you doing speeches? Are you doing presentations? Are you doing webinars? Are you just live streaming, hanging out with your community, coaching? What are you doing? Drop that in the comments. And here's the counterintuitive thing around having a high quality pro setup is that the more tech you have, it's actually easier to run a high quality presentation. The more tech you have, it seems like it would be more complicated, but if you do it well, if you do it right, it actually is going to give you less headaches. So those are all the benefits, and that's what I want for you. I really want you to be able to do all of these different things: coaching, keynote speaking, the honest appliance, magic shows, love that, class discussion, Q&A and one-on-one consultations. Imagine if you were able to give them all a better experience for all of those different use cases that are showing up in chat. That is what this is all about. So let's dive into the gear itself. Who wants to talk gear? Now, I know that when you look at my video studio, I have a 9-camera studio setup. You don't need it to look like this, right? If you're thinking about getting started, I want you to focus on simplicity. Simply Ob says, let's talk gear. Yes. You can start with a simple setup, and that is what we are going to talk about right now. So let's talk about the camera. Cameras. There are lots of cameras on the market, and you see how it's hunting. I'm going to tell you why it's doing that here shortly. Tatiana, 9 cameras. Wow. Yes, 9 cameras. So when we think about the camera, there are a lot of different cameras on the market. Now, here's the kicker. Not every camera, not every DSLR or mirrorless camera is going to be good for what we're talking about with pro video setups in a Zoom environment. They could be, but we don't. They aren't necessarily. So you have to choose the right one. When you think about a pro video setup, I want you to think about a pro live video setup. The real important thing is when you set up for live, it works for any of your video or audio needs. Hands down. When you set up for live first, it works for any video setup that you need to do, recorded video, shorts, whatever. If in Zoom, obviously, if you set up for a video setup, you may be choosing the wrong gear that's going to lead you to have to buy gear again. So we don't want that. And so this is why I recommend the Sony ZV-E10. That's this camera right here. It is the camera that I'm using. Sorry, it's trying to hunt for this. Now, the one thing I want you to know about this camera is it has a product showcase mode. And so that means that when I hold this up, it's going to focus on the camera and blur me out, right? But when I drop it, it's focusing back on me. Now, if you are not doing demo type of presentations inside of Zoom, I want you to kill that feature because it will kind of do that hunting thing that you've seen, right? So that's a very, very important note there. But I am doing I'm gonna be holding up lots of gear. So I want you to see the gear first and foremost. That's like my number one for you. So this Sony ZV-E10 is a great one that has clean HDMI. It will last as long as you want it to. So that Sony has a lot of different products, a lot of different options on the line, but that's my personal favorite because of the price point and also the feature set like the product showcase mode. If you're a Canon person, you could go for the Canon M50 Mark II. Everybody say it with me. If you're a Canon person, do not get the M50. Get the M50 Mark II. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's talk about lenses before we move on. This is a 16 millimeter lens. Looks, so big on this camera, right? This is going to provide a very wide angle. When it comes to lenses, you really want to be sure that you think about what it is that you're trying to put out there, and what type of framing you want. The lens that I have on this camera that you're seeing right now is actually a 35 millimeter lens. And so you could go for like a 16, you could go for 30, sorry, it's a 30 millimeter lens. I don't know why I said 35. And then we have a 56 millimeter lens. So they all produce a little bit of a different environment or framing for your videos. And so I have a video on my own channel, on the Live Streaming Pros channel. By the way, never really fully introduced myself. Hi, I'm Luria Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros. Skipped that part. And I am just so thrilled to be doing this collab with Ecamm. I used to do their weekly show, and I've missed this amazing community. Okay. So on my channel, I do have a video that shows you all three different lenses and the framing that provides. So if you're trying to figure that out, I would watch that comparison video. All right, so that's cameras. What is your favorite camera? Drop it in the comments. And Paul Duncan, I was wondering who you were. Who's this strange woman just showing up on the Ecamm channel? I really should have introduced myself. I apologize. Hello, Eric. Nice to meet you. Yeah, it's been a while. I actually did I did the weekly show for like a year or two, I think even 2 years on the Ecamm channel. Okay, so let's talk about camera accessories, right? You're gonna need a capture card. This is, if you're not familiar with the Canon, Cam Link 4K, the capture card itself is a middleman between your camera. So you're gonna plug it in with a cable, and I'll talk about cables here in just a second, but you're gonna plug it in with the cable to the camera, and then this end goes into your computer. It's decoding the signal. It's not the really proper way to say that, but it is producing a signal that the computer can actually read, that Zoom can actually read, or Ecamm as well, right? So you're gonna need a capture card. Well, okay, let me take it back. Let's back it up here for a second. You don't necessarily need a capture card. You could do USB connection with something like the Sony ZV-E10. However, I also have a video on my Live Streaming Pros channel that compares the USB connection with the capture card connection and what the picture signal is. I am not a big fan of the USB connection, but if you're trying to save some money, you could lose this. You're just not going to get as high quality as you want. Now, Raymond, I just want to pick up on this. Thank you so much for bringing this up. Whoops, let's fix that. Thank you, Raymond, for saying this. This is really important. If you do not have the budget for a DSLR, mirrorless camera like the Sony ZV-E10, then what you can do is connect your phone. Everybody asks about webcams, and I'm always like, there are some webcams that I have on hand that I'm testing right now that maybe take it up a notch. But in terms of webcams and your phone can actually be a little bit more. It's going to be higher quality, and you already have it, so you don't have to buy anything. So if you don't have the budget to go for this, then use your phone for now, and save up for that. Now, the benefit of going from phone to camera is that it is going to give you the ability to have it set and ready. I am a huge proponent of set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. Do not set up each and every time. If you do, you will create excuses, and you will lose some of that benefit that I talked about before, which is ease of use, right? The more kind of setup you create, you actually have an easier use case to come in, set it, and forget it. If you're having to use your phone and tear that setup, tear down every time, that's gonna hold you back, right? Speaking of holding you back, wait, hold on. Dummy battery. Got it. Can't forget this. The dummy battery. Does anybody not know what a dummy battery is? Say me in the comments right now. So this dummy battery plugs into your camera just like a regular battery would, but you can see it has a cable attached to it. It plugs into the wall, and then this will keep your camera powered completely the whole time you're using it. And so what you don't want is the battery dying mid-Zoom presentation, right? So that's what the dummy battery does. Very, 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 very important accessory in your video, your pro video setup. And you just put that in. It stays plugged in at all times, and then your camera never dies because of battery. So if I see, good. I'm glad that I was able to help you out with those of you who didn't know what the dummy battery was. Now, all of these links, I saw a couple questions about like, how do I, trying to write it down. You don't need to write all of this down. If you registered, I actually have I have all of these listed in a guide that we are sending you. So you have access to the gear list that I'm talking about if you registered, and we're going to drop that link if you did not. And I also included a free setup guide, literally which cables you need to buy, how this connects to this, where you plug it in, all of the things. It is a completely free setup guide for you so that you can assemble it all together. Normally that one is a paid thing, but I included it for free for you guys because I love you. And I love this amazing Ecamm community. All right, your camera never dies, the camera never lies. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I love it, Katie. All right, let's talk mics. If you're going for a simple setup, then the Elgato Wave 3 is a great, fantastic option. You can use the base, you can connect it to an arm if you wanted to. The Wave 3 has various controls. It's simple. It's USB, it's gonna be plug and play. Now, again, if you wanted to go a little bit more advanced, you could do something like the Rodecaster Pro and an XLR mic. But again, that will give you more options. However, it's extra cost, extra complexity, right? So if we think simple, then, then we want to keep it simple. All right, lights. Let's talk lights. In the kit that you get access to as a registered viewer, I have the Neewer panels. It's a 2-panel kit. Now, as you can see, kind of like, these are panels. This is a panel light, as it's not the one that I recommend in the kit, but in the panel is going to be less space, right? So if you have a small space, then you could do something like that. It's not going to be the best light ever, but it gets the job done. And these Neewers that I recommend are actually very good. And then the dome, like the softbox kit, this is a big one. You can get smaller ones, but I love the dome light because it gives me a soft glow, like a little soft glow, right? So that's why I use the dome light. But as you can see, it takes up a lot of space. I literally am in a 850 square foot studio apartment, and space is of concern to me. So I started out with a much smaller dome, and then I upgraded to the larger one because I just wanted it, because I wanted it. Who buys gear because you want it? All right, now let's talk about mounts. You can get a very simple Elgato desk mount. I'm about to go turn you off. I'm threatening my Sony camera right now. You can get an Elgato desk mount. And that literally just attaches to the desk itself, and it's a very simple setup. It doesn't take extra room. You do not need to worry about tripods. Please, 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 unless you have a specific reason, don't buy tripods for these setups. You have much better options that are not going to get in your way. And the last thing I want from your video setup to put that into Zoom and have your presentations is it being annoying for you, right? Like that's not what I want. So if you look again at my studio, it might be a little hard to see here, but right here, there's a pole, right there. That's a pole. It goes tall. It goes from floor to ceiling. It's called a varipole. You can also see it. You can see it over here in my other studio right here. So it's a pole that goes from ceiling to floor, and it's a tension rod essentially, right? So that is one of my favorite. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have like 5 varipoles in my studio, in the back and in the front, just to make sure I'm holding all of the things. And you can see in my, I'm just going to describe this. Literally, this one pole is holding this monitor. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I have a varipole right here holding 2 monitors. And then I have this pole, which is holding the light, the mic, the face down camera, the camera and prompter, and a few other little accessories back there. So it can hold a lot. Be sure to not overload it. It does have weight limit, but the threatening worked. Yay! I threatened my Sony camera and it started behaving. Just at least we know it works, right? Secondly, or like not lastly, but next is the monitor. You see that I have all of these different monitors, right? You do not need all of these monitors. That's my work monitor for my laptop. I have this monitor, which is controlling Ecamm. I have this monitor, which has your comments on it. I have this monitor, which you can barely see, which is my second computer. So I have a lot of monitors. You only need 1 monitor, but 2 would be super, super helpful. 2 is super helpful. And I'm going to tell you why here shortly. But finally, in your video studio setup, my favorite piece of gear. Who wants to guess what my favorite piece of gear is? This makes or breaks in a video studio, like literally makes or breaks a video studio, and it is the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck, as you can see, has physical keys. So you're going to program all of your different various things, and I'm going to show you something here shortly that takes this to the next level. This allows you to push buttons, switch cameras, put your presentation up. As you see, I am actually, so at Live Streaming Pros, we actually make these little icons so that you can have some fun stuff going on your Stream Deck. But yeah, so that allows you to, color coordinate. It allows you to have a physical manifestation of switching cameras, of putting your presentation into Zoom, and giving your viewers a really solid, great experience. So we're going to talk about workflows next, but I just want to make a very clear note here. The gear itself, like we've talked about a lot of gear, and I see lots of questions. We're going to do Q&A, put a Q: in front of your question if you do have a question. But the gear doesn't mean that you have a successful Zoom presentation. And I think that that's where a lot of people go wrong, right? You really have to learn how to engage your audience. Whether you're doing coaching, magic tricks, or anything else, you have to learn how to engage. And you need to use the tools within Zoom so that on top of everything that we here in the Ecamm community know how to do with Ecamm, you want to learn the tools within Zoom, and there are a lot of people who don't even know half of the stuff exists. So that's what I cover in Zoom Mastery, which is happening very soon. And I would love to dive deeper with you on all of those engagement tools so that you can create a presentation that's super awesome with all of your fanciness, gear, and the participation and the keeping their attention. Those tools right within Zoom. So we'd love to see you there. That is happening soon. It is live. All right, now let's talk about workflows for a smoother production. Workflows really help you get ease of use with your studio setup, right? And so there are like a couple of things that I see that most people need to do when you're thinking about your Zoom workflow, right? We're thinking about doing a presentation inside of Zoom, a meeting, or anything else. One of those things is sharing your presentation, sharing a keynote or a PowerPoint presentation, right? That happens a lot. Or even just demos. I know somebody said, you're doing one-on-ones or coaching calls. I do coaching calls a lot with my community, and I'm always sharing my screen. I have a pro tip for you on that, but let's talk about the two monitors. Now, when you're sharing your presentation, I'm gonna skip ahead here and do my pro tip real quick so that I can kind of back up. So the pro tip is to not use the Zoom functionality of screen share. How many people get annoyed with that? Like, OMG, am I sharing my screen? Which browser do I want? Like, right? It's so awkward, and there's no way to hotkey it. And so you could hotkey the screen share pop-up, but you can't choose which tab or which window or whatever that you want to put into Zoom. And so it's a very awkward experience. If you want to really step up your Zoom presentations you're using all of the gear that I just recommended, when it comes to a workflow, this is gonna be kicker. Don't use that, use Ecamm to actually make it so much smoother. You see me doing that with this, and a second pro tip, this entire presentation is not a keynote. It is not a PowerPoint. It is literally done all within Ecamm itself. And it took me an hour to put together. Like, literally so different than me trying to fumble around trying to create a keynote presentation. I don't know about y'all, but yes, you detest the screen share of Zoom. Yes, right? So that's a little bit of a pro tip. And tomorrow, by the way, we are going to be talking more about this using Ecamm and Zoom together. That's video number 2 in this 3-video series. Now, when you are sharing, 2 monitors are going to make this a lot easier, especially if you're using Ecamm to do this. You can do it with one. It's just going to be easier to separate the 2 functionalities out. And then if you want to take this in advanced mode, you could use 2 computers. That's actually what I do. So in my video studio, you saw the monitor that was blank. I don't have the second computer on because I'm not using it today. But typically I will actually anything I want to screen share is on my second computer. I'm bringing that in as a camera source into Ecamm, and then I actually am bringing that in like as a camera overlay. And so that is a possibility as well if you want more control, you want to advance your setup, and I just wanted that separation. So those are a couple of things to think about when it comes to monitors. And then also I want you to add your overlays, right? So using overlays like this, using overlays like what we sell in our Live Streaming Pro store, using overlays that you create in Canva, like whatever, it can really enhance the presentation. If you are trying to demo anything, if you're trying to visualize anything, then having that extra visual layer will enhance the experience that your viewers have, and it'll help bring your camera in with the visualization together. Now, if you are doing a Zoom presentation to an audience that may be on mobile, then you are really going to want to think about having bigger words and less space fill, right? Like I wouldn't do this specifically geared toward an audience that is on mobile, because you're going to want to like have less space around you and more like focus on the words, right? Okay, so the next thing in terms of workflow is the Stream Deck. We're going to come back to the Stream Deck, and I'm going to do a little bit of a demo mode here in a second, but there are two things that I want you to do. One, separate your profile in Ecamm and separate your profile on Stream Deck. I want you to have two different profiles from any other video creation or streaming that you do, specifically for your Zoom presentations. I can't tell you how important that is. It's going to remove overwhelm, and when you have a live stream that you're doing and you're just then trying to use that in Zoom, it's going to cause more frustration for you. So separate out the profiles in Ecamm, separate out a profile in Stream Deck, and then what I can do, I'm going to go in live demo mode. So you have like a profile specifically for everything that you're doing in Zoom, and you have a profile specifically for your stream in your Stream Deck. Then load those up with whatever things you want to do. And secondly, add Zoom specific keys for your mute and unmute, your leaving, whatever Zoom functionality or hotkeys you want to program. That will make it so much better in terms of workflow. It will give you a smoother presentation. It will give you less fumbling around. It will give you peace of mind, really, at the end of the day. So that's what I want to see when, in terms of a workflow that will be really, really good for Zoom. Those Zoom buttons that are on the Stream Deck, killer. I was going to say killerly, but that's not a word. Killer. I just did this for a virtual talk I did yesterday, and it worked perfectly. Now I have it set up for the next time I present this talk. Fantastic. I love that. All right, next up, I do have a bit of a bonus. We're actually going to tackle this in more depth on video number 3. In terms of workflows, use a teleprompter. Look at your Zoom attendees in the eye. That's going to really create a sense of connection and conversation. So I really would love to geek out more about that. We're going to talk about that with Michael Hyatt on Wednesday's video in this series. Okay, next up, we're about to go into Q&A. So if you have not put those if you haven't gotten your questions in, now is the time. But we've talked about the tech, the gear. We've talked about workflows to make it so much easier, so much smoother, so that you can focus on engaging with your viewers while you're in Zoom doing whatever it is you need to do. And I would love to see you inside of Zoom Mastery so that you know how to use the tools within Zoom. If you take all of this, the gear, the workflows, and the knowledge of Zoom that you probably have zero clue exists, then you're going to have so much of a better experience. So Zoom Mastery is where it's at, and that is happening soon. So I would love to see you there. What is your biggest takeaway from today's video in this 3-part series? Will you tell me what your takeaway is in the comments? I really want to hear that. And I just really appreciate you joining for this. Let's dive in to Q&A. All right, we have lots and lots of questions, tons of questions that are coming in. And I'm just going to start from the top, okay, y'all? I'm going to get to them as quickly as I can, but I've got to start at the top. So, oh my gosh, so many great questions coming in. Wow, I can't believe I've been using Zoom screen share all this time and never thought to just use Yes. Okay. We're going to fix that. I can't believe you're in my community and I haven't convinced you of that or told you that yet. That's my fault. I'm going to take the total blame on that. Your big takeaway is that you need new equipment. I get inspired by your setup. So fun. So great. Aw, thanks, Patrick. Okay. Let's dive into questions. Tatiana. Is today's Zoom only discussions? Are we discussing Zoom and Ecamm? So I know what questions to ask. Oh, so I did say that at the beginning of this. Tomorrow, so I obviously talked a little bit about Ecamm because I'm on the Ecamm channel. We can't not talk about Ecamm, right? But tomorrow's video is dedicated to the connection of actually how Zoom, like how you get Zoom and Ecamm to work together in a workflow. So I'll be diving deep into that tomorrow on the second video in the series. Again, if you have not registered, you get the gear list, you get the setup guide that I usually charge for of literally how to connect each individual component to each other, what cables you need, accessories that I didn't even show you today. So that's something to definitely get. Okay, next up, if you Sherry, if you had to choose only one lens, which would you choose? I lean towards the 16 millimeter because it gives you also, if you're Italian, the product showcase mode really hurts you. Oh my God, I'm Italian, so I'm always like, and it's like, So the 16 millimeter is kind of what I lean towards. I'm using a 30 right here. And I think it's wide enough. It depends on your space. It depends on what you're trying to show, right? So there really is a lot of nuance to that question. So I can't say that there would be one, but the 16 millimeter is what we tend to recommend. And then you can swap that out if you decide it's too wide. Like some people, right, are like if you're set up in your living room and the 16 millimeter is going to wind up catching your entire kitchen and you've got kids coming in and out of the kitchen, you don't want that, right? So that's why it's a nuanced discussion. The honest to compliance. I'm Jewish. I talk with my pointer finger. Fair enough. It would also go crazy with you then. Jim, what about using the A10 Mini as the capture device? Yes. So let's talk about that super quick. If I go to my BTS here, you'll see I actually have an A10 Mini in here in the setup. It is holding 3 cameras, but I have a 9 camera setup. So the thing you need to think about is hardware versus software. And I will be honest, I have what is happening? Okay. I have a video where I kind of break that down, like A10 Mini versus, capture cards directly into the computer. If your computer is, and that's on my channel, sorry. But if your computer is not able to handle all that you're asking it to do, then it can really be beneficial to have the A10 Mini involved. Like my Mac Studio cannot handle the 9 cameras alone, right? It needs docks, it needs the ATEM, it needs support. So it doesn't even have enough ports for it, right? So you think about that from a hardware versus like a ATEM versus, the capture card. So those are the things that you want to think about. And also what else you're going to do with it. Like I barely use my A10 Mini. It is literally just a capture device. That's it. I don't use all of the other functionality, but if you need all of the other functionality and you want to go for the ISO or the Pro or whatever, then that could be a better solution. But I tend to really rely on whatever, like y'all, nuance. Live comes with so much nuance. And these decisions come with so much nuance. It's not the same answer for every single person. So the honest compliance, I'm colorblind, so I have a hard time seeing the difference in using my standard webcam versus getting the cam link. Any advice? Yeah, so the webcam is definitely going to be a lower quality. One, you're not going to get the blurred background. Two, the coloring is going to be much harder to get right. As if you're colorblind, literally, I would definitely go for like the camera itself, because with a webcam, you really have to fine tune those things. You have to adjust the coloring. Otherwise it looks like crap on every webcam. Just call it what it is, right? But you could just plug this in and it be good. And you could be like sure that it's a solid coloring. So that's what I would say as well. Rich, is the Elgato Oh, yes, Rich. Yes, I believe it is. It's been a while since I looked at that information, but I believe it is. Tatiana, how long is your desk? 8 feet? Yes. So my desk in the behind the scenes here, and somebody else asked which desk I'm using. So I'm just going to go here real quick. This is an 8-foot desk. Like I said, I live in an 850 square foot studio apartment. So that's my bed over there, with the calendars. That's a Murphy bed. So that's the only space I have. And so that separates this from my living room, which you see in the back of my set on my main camera. And so I don't have a lot of space to have like multiple desks, but I wanted something that was big enough for my studio, because I'm a big proponent of having a dedicated studio as opposed to work machine and studio machine. I understand that sometimes you have to do that, which is, there are precautions around that. But I have my workstation separate from my main studio stage. And somebody else asked about what desk it is. This is custom built, and if I were to have like the whole thing showing, it's using Japanese maple. I know, and everybody cares about this, but it's actually custom built for me and for this particular apartment. Yeah. Okay. Rich Chapman, what kind of pole is it? It's called a Varipole. So we have those. I do not have those on the gear guide that you get as a registered viewer. I don't have that, the Varipole, because that's kind of a little bit more of an advanced thing. But I have them listed on my website. We have a gear page as well. John Porterfield, which arms do you recommend to attach to the Varipoles? Manfrotto arms are the best. If you're going to do so in the setup guide and in the gear guide, we have a simple arm. It's a less expensive arm, but it's not going to do much. It's not going to hold a lot of weight. If you're going to add a teleprompter, it's not going to hold that. It would hold the camera, and that's it. And so if you are looking for a more sturdy arm, it's the Manfrotto 244s. Freaking love those things. Best accessory ever. Outside of the Stream Deck. I love the Stream Decks first and foremost, and then the Manfrotto arms and Varipoles. Oh my God. How do I decide which accessories I like more? I get more excited about accessories than I do actual cameras. Am I alone in that? Please tell me I'm not. Can you show how you utilize the Stream Deck Plus? I'm about to lose my geek card here. I actually don't. Not currently. I was thinking about moving. Y'all, this is ridiculous. Here, I'm going to my BTS shot real quick. Okay. I have this Stream Deck, which is my main one. I have another Stream Deck XL. I have the Stream Deck Plus, which is, I can tell you exactly how I'm utilizing it. I will tell you exactly how I'm utilizing it. You want to see? Hold on, let me go to my main thing. Okay, let me unplug it real quick. You want to see how it's being used? As a lipstick holder. I feel so embarrassed saying that. Okay. No, I was thinking, and then I have a loop deck as well. So I've got all of this stuff, and I haven't unplugged it and moved it over. That's, I think, what I'm going to do with the Stream Deck Plus is move it over to my work machine and use that for the Zoom calls and stuff. Now I'm getting laughed at. It's not because it's a bad device, by the way. It is, that's not what I'm saying. It's just maybe I've been a little lazy, but there are cheaper options to hold your lipstick. You are right about that. Now my secret is out. Eric, shh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Okay. My mouse, I'm losing my mouse. Okay, next question. Jamie, can one Stream Deck control 2 Macs? Unless there's been an update, no. I heard some rumors that was going to be an option. What you can do is you can export your Stream Deck profiles and then move that onto another one. But it seems to lose the connection there when you kind of move it one to another. Oh, that's right. Speaking of Callie, Callie is my community manager over at Live Streaming Pros. You know how you have Paul here, Paul Duncan, and Paul has done some stuff over at my community as well. But yeah, Callie, speaking of Callie, I'm supposed to give her a stream deck as well for some videos that she's doing. So I'm about to lose all my toys over here. His lipstick on the kit list. Darn it, Martin, what were we thinking? What were we thinking? I don't know the answer to that. Okay, it is. I know the answer to your question. It is not. So I apologize. Okay, John, can you explain the benefits of having Ecamm Live overlay on Zoom? Yeah, so inside of the Zoom Mastery, I'm going to set the stage here for that answer. The Zoom Mastery is all about the native tools, right? And so if you know how to engage your audience using tools that are inside of Zoom, and that's happening soon, I would love, love, love to see you there. If you know how to do that, then you can have a better experience with your audience. Adding in, like what we're gonna really dive into tomorrow on video number 2 in this series, adding in Ecamm and all of the overlays and the presentation, the sharing of the screen, it makes your workflow smoother so that you're not having to mess with that screen share button in Zoom. And number 2, it engages the viewer more. So depending on the type of a thing that you're doing in Zoom, if you're doing any kind of presentation whatsoever, you have to work extra hard because it's on Zoom, because it's in a digital format and it's not in person. Because of that, everything is gonna help you to keep their attention, to keep them engaged, both visually and in comments, doing polls or whatever else you want them to do. It also is gonna increase your conversions. So if you're doing anything inside of Zoom that you want to convert, you're going to actually have a higher conversion rate by doing all of the things that I'm talking about. Yes. This is the Zoom basic. Sorry, that might have been a little confusing the way I said that. So we're doing a 3-part video series on Zoom here on the Ecamm channel. By the way, hi, I'm Luria Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros. I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning, but you're just late, so I'm just saying hi. And by the way, over on my channel, we demand cookies if you show up late. Callie demands eggs for some weird reason, but I demand cookies. But yeah, this is day 1 of the 3-part video series on the Ecamm channel where we're talking about Zoom. I take that deeper. We don't have time, to kind of dig into all of the things. I take that deeper inside of the Zoom Mastery. So that's an additional separate thing, just so you're clear on that. Jim, is there a way to program Stream Deck to run polls in Zoom? I don't believe so. Zoom has a whole lot of hotkeys that you can absolutely program anything there's a hotkey for. I don't believe polls is one of those hotkey options within Zoom itself. You can Google Zoom hotkeys, just Google that phrase, Zoom hotkeys, and you'll find the answer to that. But I don't believe it does. It might pop up the window of the poll, but just like screen share, it's not going to be able to then know which poll you want to control, right? So like with screen share, it can pop up the window to say which screen do you want to share, but then you still have to choose. You still have to take an action because it can't read your mind of which tab, which window. It's the same thing with polls, I believe, unless somebody's going to correct me in the comments, and feel free to, then that would actually be, it doesn't know which poll, because you can do a lot of different polls at the same time or have them scheduled or prepared. Sarah said, is there a way to look them in the eye if you don't use a teleprompter? You can yes. You can just stare at the camera. but you're not going to be able to see their faces. So that's the benefit of having the prompter. And so what you can do to train yourself, Sarah, and I know Sarah, she's a student, and I know what she's doing this for. What I would do in your case is actually just train yourself to stare at the camera and look off every once in a while to capture the knowledge that they're still with you. Right? So you can look off just like you would looking off at notes or whatever, but that's your two options. That's pretty much it. Now, that being said, also one other thing, there are devices, like I have the Plexicam here. There are devices for your laptop that they go over your laptop and they drop down. You could put a webcam in the middle of the screen, essentially. And there are a few of these on the market. It won't work with the Pro Video setup that we're talking about today, but it would be an alternative to look them in the eye. So basically what it's doing, and I don't have it easily accessible, but it's basically putting your camera in the middle of the screen on the screen side so that you can kind of look at the whole laptop and then you can see through them, type of thing. I love Plexicam. Use it on my iMac. Fantastic. Next up, Live for Wonder. Are you using any particular third-party apps within the Zoom API to help with engagement? No. I'm not. But you can, right? But yeah, if anybody is, if you want to drop those, feel free to make that suggestion to Live for Wonder. But I'm not particularly using those. I really like to use the native functionality of Zoom, and then also, but there are certain like giveaway things or like contest kind of things that do exist for that. Zoom OSC, CenterCam is another one of those other options, like Plexicam for sure. Ray, how are you presenting the questions in the lower third? That's all done through Ecamm, Ray. Are you still here, Ray? So I'm going to just go into live demo mode real quick for you. So what was the question? So this is Ecamm. This is the software that I use to do my entire presentations. And when I throw a comment up, so this is the comments window I'm going to bring over here. So I can throw, Rabbi David's comment there, and then you can X that out. So Ecamm does that native functionality, and that works really, really well. Okay, coming out of live demo mode. Next up, Anthony, can you address the screen share in gallery mode and how it may not be as effective as a screen share in commanding attention? Yeah, great suggestion there, Anthony. So what he's saying is if people are watching in gallery mode, then your screen, if you like screen share, right? So Ecamm versus Zoom Native. In Zoom Native, if everybody's watching in gallery mode, and you use the Zoom screen share, then what will happen is it's gonna take over everybody's view, right? So that's the benefit of it. And on if you're using like Ecamm to screen share and then sending that entire signal into Zoom, which is what we're talking about tomorrow specifically, then what it won't do is take over everybody's screens. Now, what I do is we have moderators inside of our Zoom sessions, and they will feature me, right? And so we'll spotlight, that's the word. We'll spotlight me. And so at the appropriate times or throughout the entire presentation, it'll be spotlighted. Now, there's also inside of, there's also a lot of training that you can do with your audience and the experience as well, something to think about. And so, yeah, it depends on what you're wanting. Again, I just hate the awkwardness of it because it feels like fumbling around. Jamie, What Sony did I say that I use? The Sony ZV-E10. If you are a registered user, has anybody not registered? I want you to type no in the comments and just put yourself out there because this is a safe place. And I'm not gonna yell at you, but if you have not registered for this 3 video series, say no in the comments and we're gonna get you a link to register so that you can get my gear list. All of the gear I talked about today, plus more that I didn't even mention today, is in the gear list, and there's a setup guide. And that literally is step by step by step directions so that you can know exactly what to do with the gear when it comes, how you connect one thing to another, what goes where, all of that good stuff now. Eric, just now, fantastic. Johnny, not yet. No. Kiko, okay. Artem, no. So all of you who just said no, and anybody else who did not speak up yet, I would invite you to go register so that you get free stuff. I actually have something, I think it's in tomorrow's video. It's in either video 2 or video 3, extra special for you, that you're gonna want. You're gonna want. I'm just saying. It's free to register. Okay. Towler, no. All right. Let's see. Next question. Oh my gosh. I'm so far behind and we only have 5 minutes. Oh, I don't have my rapid fire. Hold on. We're going to do something fun here. I'm gonna like build something real quick. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going rapid fire. Going rapid fire here. Hold on. Okay, are you ready? We're going rapid fire. Hericapole, I so butchered your name. I apologize for that. All right, we're gonna do the rest of these in rapid fire, but first I want your permission. Is it okay if I go a few minutes over, just to make sure that everybody is taken care of, because I can't stand to let you go without getting your questions answered, but I'm gonna have to do this fast. All right, first up, rapid fire is, are you using a green screen or is that a real backdrop? This is not a green screen. This is my home. This is my living room. Welcome to my home. These are my plants that I need to water. All right, next, I did that. Yes, I did that. With time to spare. Next question, Soap School. The Mac Studio specs are on my gear list on my website. Ooh, I'm gonna start yelling at the Sony again. I am. So yeah, that's the Studio Max, but we have that list. Lance, will the new 15-inch MacBook Air 2 work well with Ecamm? Yes. Any of the M2s? Not the Air. I'm sorry, you said Air. No, not on the Air. Oh God, I'm getting the thing. No, do not buy an Air. Okay, I'm calling it. I get to do that again because I started that with the other question. Okay, the Airs, don't use the Airs, even with the M2s. Not for streaming. It's not gonna play well. Like it's just don't do it. Don't do it. No Airs. All right? Everybody say that in the comments. No Airs. All right, next up. I'm doing well. I'm not screwing this up royally. Jamie, what teleprompter and what monitor or iPad do you recommend with my Sony ZV-E10? I am using the Prompter People Flex or the Ecamm. The Flex is a little less expensive than the Ecamm 12-inch LCD. I'm a big LCD fan for teleprompters, just so you know. I don't like Bluetooth because it's unreliable. However, Bluetooth iPads are much less expensive than an LCD. You get a lot of benefits with the LCD. Okay. Next question. Wait, hold on. I'm asking the questions first. Anthony, I would love to use Ecamm instead of screen share, but I feel it doesn't command the same. Oh, I answered that. Steven, how about a separate laptop for screen share connecting via Camlink? Yeah, so I mentioned that actually. So I actually do my screen share with a second computer entirely, which is being brought into Ecamm Ecamm as a camera overlay, as a camera source. And so I highly recommend that. I did mention that during the training. And I love that because it gives me a lot more control, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessary for you if you have like a second monitor, right? But it is helpful. Yes! I did it. Did it. All right. Oh, yes. Oh, great question coming up. Darth says, have you considered the Stream Deck pedal for some scene changes? Changes my life. I do have a Stream Deck pedal. It is on my test station, not my main station. So the pedal is I have a different setup, a different set, and I use that for like camera reviews and things like that. So that's my test station, and that's super helpful over there because I can control that all myself as well. I got you. Like now we're just hanging out. I was early on that one. Yeah, I might be. We'll see. Okay, next question is, Jamie, if I use a second computer for my presentations, do I need a second capture card to connect it to my main computer where you use Ecamm? Yes, you do. It needs to be seen as a camera source, so it needs a second capture card for sure. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do two. How important is backlighting? Anthony, backlighting is actually pretty darn important because it separates you from the background. If you ever see something, a video where they don't feel, it feels flat, that's what backlighting helps you do, is separate you from the background. Sony, I'm gonna take you out. Oops, that overlay is a little off, I guess. Paul's yelling at me right now. Not Paul Duncan. Paul Dixon is the magical Mr. Paul Dixon. He's our graphic designer. He creates all of these things that you're seeing. And he creates all of the stuff that all of the overlays and animations that we sell on our store over at Live Streaming Pros too. He's incredible. That's why we call him magical. All right, next question. Okay, I love this question and I need to do a VOD about it. I need to do a YouTube video about this one because it comes up all the time. Is the Stream Deck better than the Blackmagic Ecamm Mini? Kiko asks. Two separate functionalities. The Stream Deck itself is going to be is programmed against your Ecamm, right? It's going to be programmed to do certain things. It's not switching the camera. It is, but it's connected to Ecamm, and that's where you're building out your scenes to then switch the camera. The Blackmagic Ecamm Mini is literally only a camera, well, not literally only a camera switcher, but it's just hitting that button of change to A, change to B. So two different functionalities. And if you need, I can go into demo mode and show you that. Brent, if you use Ecamm in Zoom, do you bring guests into Ecamm or just use Zoom for guests? Yeah, so great question. And so you have to know certain things in order for that to happen properly. You need to make sure your audio is routing properly for that. But yeah, if I'm gonna do like a guest experience or an interview experience and put that into Zoom, then I'm super happy to do that inside of Ecamm. Either way, you can go about it a couple of different ways, but that's how we do it when we like do remote productions, right? Or webinars that we do for people. We have a whole line of like done for you services, and so we use that for them a lot. Okay, next question. We're rapid fire. I'm gonna go here in just a couple minutes, so if you have questions, bring it in with the queue. Oh, I was supposed to be queue for questions. All right. Oh, now I have to go back to main. Hold on. Where's my overlay? Oh no. I lost which one I added the overlay to. There we go. I found it. Phew. All right. Are you still wearing an earbud or a headphone so you can monitor the audio? Mia, I don't. I only use the earbuds, these nifty little things, when I'm listening to audio, not when I'm listening to like an interview, or if I have a video that has audio that I want to hear during the presentation, I don't, because I test that audio prior. So I'm not live monitoring my audio. That requires a little bit of a more complicated setup. Not complicated, but a little bit more of a setup. And so I don't tend to do that live myself, but you certainly can. Okay, Brother Paul West, did I just hear that Ecamm does not work well with the MacBook Air? It is not Ecamm's fault. It is no streaming. You're not going to do any streaming on an Air. Streaming video is one of the biggest, heaviest loads that you can ask your computer to do. And so it's not, the Air has no fan. It's not going to be able to process that. You're going to lower the life of the computer itself, and you're going to hear it struggle. It's going to even get laggy and not work. It could kill your stream. Okay, this rapid fire is killing me. Zebohan, if I'm saying that right, I hope. Can you bring Zoom comments into your presentation with Ecamm? No, that doesn't go the opposite way. I wish, but no, you can't, unless somebody has some trick up their sleeve that we have not been able to figure out over here. If you do, leave that in the comments, because I need to know. All right, I got that one. I was early, yay me. If using iPad for presentations, how do you connect the iPad to the main computer? USB capture card needed or not? You can do that with software, actually. I'm blanking out on the name of the software, Duet. The Apple, somebody's going to drop it in the comments. I'm blanking on the name right now because I'm trying to go rapid fire. That's screwing me up here. But you can do that with software. You don't need a capture card for that. What is the, Shavan. Oh, Shavan. That is so beautiful. Such a beautiful name. Thank you for fixing me. Thank you for correcting me. I have this thing where I always people have butchered my name, Luria Petrucci, so many times that I always get really fearful of doing that to other people. Okay. Right? I would love to purchase something similar to this rapid fire. Well, y'all pester Paul. Paul is in charge of that. Best Canon DSLR camera for streaming. I would go with the M50 Mark II mirrorless camera. Mark II. You must have joined me late because I had a whole conversation about this where I was like, hey, I'm in Washington too. Nice to meet you. I just saw your name. Yeah, you don't want to just get an M50. Go for a Mark II if you're going to go Canon route. For sure. Okay, next. Let's see. Okay, I think I got everything. Oh my gosh, y'all killed it today. Thank you so much for participating. So three things that I want to wrap up on. Number one, this is video one of a 3-part series. For the next 2 days, we're doing the series itself. So show up live, 12 p.m. Pacific, Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific. Michael Hyatt is joining us on Wednesday, and he and I are going to just totally geek out over some stuff, some ways that he uses Ecamm. You're going to love his brain when it comes to the things that he does inside of Ecamm with his presentations. And if you want to take this series deeper, then I'm doing Zoom Mastery to help you next week, to help you really understand the native functionality of the software so that you can increase engagement and conversions. And that's going to help you create a better experience for your viewers. So that's a separate thing, but it's taking all of this and going deeper on that. Third thing, if you have not registered for this series, then I would highly, highly, highly recommend you do that so that you get free stuff. Everybody likes free stuff, and registering is how you get that, not just by watching here on YouTube. Okay, thank you. Yes, absolutely. So this is a live stream. It'll just turn into a replay immediately that you can go back and start watching. Absolutely. No, you'll have to watch the replay. Okay, that's fair. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am so appreciative of being able to collaborate with Ecamm on this series and hang out with you once again. I know I used to hang out with you on a regular basis here on stream on Ecamm's channel, and I'm just happy to be home. Anna! Thank you. And usually I dance this baby out. Can we dance this baby out? We're just gonna put on our dancing shoes. This is what we do over on my channel, Live Streaming Pros. We're gonna to put on our dancing shoes and dance this baby out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you tomorrow. Turn it up.